Brian, thanks so much. Well, coming soon to the Bushnell Center in Hartford, the 100 Women of Color. It is an awards gala meant to celebrate the power of family, friends, and the community. Joining me now is June Archer, and you are the mastermind. You make the magic happen in this case. So tell me, what is it, first and foremost? What is this gala all about?
Well, this gala is about celebrating women of color in the state of Connecticut and Western Massachusetts for their contribution in whatever it is they do, from business, entrepreneurship, education, government, public service, entertainment, and sports, and just celebrating them while they're here, kind of giving them their roses while they're here, but also giving the younger women in our communities great examples and greatest examples of greatness, and just role models and people that are doing great things in the community so that they feel good about themselves. With everything that's going on in the world, we all need positive role models.
Absolutely.
But I felt like this was an opportunity to bring the community together and bring back that whole village concept of it takes a village. And once we have that kind of back in place and getting that reinvigorated, I think the community will come together to kind of make sure that these examples exist and that these young people know that they exist so they feel better about themselves.
And the great thing about this, too, is that the community kind of already did come together because they nominated these women. They went out and they looked for these outstanding role models. So tell me about that process of nomination and how you narrow that pool down.
Well, we went to Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and put out a nomination link that went right back to our website, IamJuneArcher.com, and just asked the community, who would you like to see honored? It wasn't just those who are successful and who had a lot of money. It's those who have been servicing the community for years, who might have been servicing families for a few generations, whether it was a bodega or a corner store. It's, you know, Miss Pauline Scott from the West Indian Bakery, who's been, you know, just selling West Indian food for generations. It's Olivia White, who's been at the Amistad Foundation for years. It's Nikisha Sales, who's been a great at UConn and the Connecticut Sun. And getting those nominations, we had over 350 nominations, and really just scaling it down to make sure that we covered every part of the state and every part of, you know, Springfield, Mass, and the county, and just make sure we got people from Norwich and Groton and Waterbury, New Haven, Springfield, Chicopee, and just really narrowing it down to 100 great women. Not that the others aren't, but just a great inaugural class.
Sure, and but that really is what you just said is so great too. Is that yes, you had to get it down to the smaller pool, but how wonderful to see the outpouring of nominations from folks all over the place. This started, and correct me if I'm wrong, because you were doing this with men in the community, correct? And you had success with that. About 3 years, you said you've been doing it with men, and you said, why not get the women involved too, correct?
It's time for the women. I felt as though I wasn't responsible to do it. I felt like a woman should do it, but I felt like there's no reason why we can have the third year for the men and we haven't recognized the women and honored the women, because we come from women. They've been the pillars. They are the mothers. They are the grandmothers. They are the backbone of our society. So it only made it right and only felt right to make sure that we did that this year.
And I also love what you say about a shift in mentality for younger generations and things like that. You know, we're so influenced by so many different things.
Social media and Real Housewives and all these the Love and Hip Hops. But those aren't real images. They're not the images that we normally see in the community. And if our young men are watching these images, then we're giving them the wrong piece, because we got to give them a variation of what's really going on. Not that those things don't exist, but there's so many people, especially when you have the First Lady, you know, Michelle Obama in office, that someone needs to be recognized and celebrated. But we have the Michelle Obamas in our community as well.
It's tangible. It's their neighbors. It's these people that they know. So maybe younger girls can say, hey, I know her. I've met her, and I understand why she was nominated because of the examples she's setting for me right now. So can you give us the details about the event? Because this is going to be a big night.
I'm excited. It's next Friday, September 18th at the Bushnell. VIP reception starts at 7. The Gala Awards start at 8. It's going to feel like the Oscars. It is black tie, gown, suit and tie.
To the nines. To the nines.
And we don't do that enough anymore. And just really just celebrating these women and just bringing back this whole community concept and village concept and make sure we have a great time. We have great entertainment, some great celebrity guests coming, so it's going to be awesome.
And what would you say that the hope is going forward? Where would you like to see this go from here? Can it expand even further, do you think? I
think it can. I've gotten some calls just for the concept of the men in D.C. and in North Carolina and New York, and I feel like we could do this for 10 years. It's 1,000 women and 1,000 men that we can celebrate. So how many more men and women, young men and women, can we actually inspire and motivate to become great, to become the next Nikisha Sales, to become the next Deborah Elam, you know, of the business world, the next, you know, CEO of Travelers and Aetna and Cigna. This is the future.
And then you see, you know, those women be successful, so those younger generation, who knows, they're in that list maybe in years to come. That's
and
the
we're
hope.
looking forward to it.
Very good. Thank you so much for being with us. We wish you
me.
all the success with
I
this
appreciate
event.
it.
Wonderful things. Still to come, big